stuff for everybody to play with at home. Check it out. Turn it off. You can see how there's a big strip of sand. It's very dark. And we're discovering that that's actually metallic sand. It's metal. It's the end of another day. Social distancing. We'll find a way to make it fun. I'm back from the beach and I collected a whole bunch of that metallic sand. I'll give everybody some along with some magnets to play with at home, but I thought it'd be fun to show you what I got. Look at all this. So much metallic sand. Pretty cool, huh? Hi, everybody. I wanted to find out more about that black sand that we found on the beach yesterday. So I looked it up and I found a bunch of really cool information. Let's take a look at it again. It's sparkling in the sunshine. Isn't this crazy? And it's very strongly magnetic, and that's why it is so hard to take the metal off of it. It just does not want to let go. Pretty cool. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to do a search with the keywords San Francisco, Ocean Beach, black sand. And you have 3 challenges. You're going to find out what it's called, you're going to find out where it came from, and you're going to find out how it got onto the beach. So go ahead and do your research, and we're going to pause and come back. All right, so for that search, San Francisco Ocean Beach black sand, looks like we have a whole bunch of different stuff. Scroll down a little bit. What's up with the black sand at Ocean Beach? SF Gate, those guys are always really interesting to read. There's a couple articles, scoot down. There's a few videos. All right, so go on back up and let's do the SF Gate one. All right, you can turn it off. So here's what I found out. So the sand, it looks kind of dirty, but it's not dirt and it's not oil from an oil spill or anything like that. It's actually made up of a really cool iron ore derivative called magnetite. Magnetite, isn't that funny? We were thinking of a similar word for that. If you hold a magnet over the sand, the tiny bits stick to it. The sand particles themselves become magnetic, and then they attract more sand, and you can conduct all sorts of fun science experiments. That'll be in our next video. The Ocean Beach black sand is unlike the variety found on Hawaiian beaches, as volcanic sand is not metallic. Ken Finn, the Exploratorium science educator, explains that the Ocean Beach sand comes from the Sierra Nevada, where igneous rocks are being worn down through erosion. Most of the sand at Ocean Beach is from this source, Finn says, carried here by the tributaries of the San Joaquin and Sacramento rivers that meet in the delta and flow through the San Francisco Bay and out the gate. The prevailing ocean current helps push this exiting sedimentary flow south, and wave action pushes it onto Ocean Beach. So it starts in the Sierra, where if you've ever been to Lake Tahoe, that's what they mean, that mountain range. That comes all the way from there. It gets ground down, erosion, things just get more and more ground down until it's a fine powder, and it finds its way down into the two main rivers, the San Joaquin River and the Sacramento River, all the way down through the delta, which is the very easternmost part of the San Francisco Bay. So it goes all the way from the mountains, all the way down, and gets washed out of the Golden Gate Bridge, and then the waves and the current pushes it up onto the sand. The sand at Ocean Beach is always on the move, Finn explains. The sand follows a seasonal movement cycle. The heavy seas in the winter pull a lot of sand off the beach and drop it a little offshore. He adds, in the winter, large bands of black sand are exposed, making the beach seem more black than the last time you were out there, or the reverse is also true. Over the summer months, more and more sand is deposited on the beach. Sand that was swept out during the winter months and new sand brought down by the spring melt in the Sierras piles up on the beach in the spring and summer months. Finn says the black sand is more likely to appear at Ocean Beach than at the city's other city beaches such as Crissy Field, Baker Beach, and China Beach. For some reason, most likely linked to the density of these black bits in the sand spectrum, he says, the current deposits the bulk of our black sand between Rivera Street and Sloat Boulevard. And I'm on Rivera. Everybody, good to see you all again. So, in your learning kit, you got this. And what this is a few things, and then the magnetite that was on the beach in front of my house. So I got some for everybody. Now the sand has covered it all up, so I'm glad I got it when I did. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get a big bowl, and you're gonna get two smaller bowls. And you can stand up now. And you've got your supplies. All right. So first you're gonna pour your magnetite into the big bowl. Okay. All right. So now here's the thing. So if you look over here, I have two bowls. And this bowl is darker. This is actually more magnetite. And this is the sand that I separated them. I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, you can keep it just like this if you want. If you don't want to do the purifying of it, you don't have to. You'll still be able to play with it and enjoy it. But if you want to purify your magnetite so that you can kind of separate the sand and the magnetite, let me show you how you do that. But first, it's interesting to see that this bowl, let's see how the magnet does with this. Not too impressive. Let's see how it is when we've purified it a bit. Now that's what we're talking about. Look at that. The sand is dropping off of it because it's not magnetic. So that's the ticket here. This is what you're going to do. If you want to purify your magnetite, let me show you what you're going to do. You are going to take as much of the magnetite off of your magnets as you possibly can. It's very tricky because it's very magnetic. But something I tried to do is just scoot it through my hands and take it off. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my big cup. I'm going to put my 2 magnets in there, and I'm going to, let's bring this over. Start a little operation here. So here we go. What you're going to do is you put the magnets on the inside, and then look what you have here. There's your magnetite. So now you're going to go to this bowl and you're going to tap the sand off of it. And then you simply pick up your magnets and it drops into the purified bowl. Look at that. You can already see the difference in color of these two. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to do this. Right. So pause it. Now, you don't have to purify all of your magnetite that I collected off of the beach right now, but you might want to collect a little bit so that we can do some of these experiments. Now, again, if you don't feel like doing this process, you don't have to. You can still work with the magnetite just like that. So let's take our magnetite and let's take our paper plate, and you're going to use your little scooper. Scoop just a little bit into the middle, just like that. And then we spread it out. Now, look at this. Oh, I could make a heart. Here, I'm going to try this with my round one and see if it's a little bit better to use. So here we go. I'm actually going to put my round one in the middle, and I'm going to pull some over, and then I'm going to drop it, and I'm going to go back and pull some over here and drop it, and then I'm going to make a little, pull some over here. And then I'm going to make a smiley face. How could I make a smiley face? You scoot some of it over. There! Have a happy day! There's some other things you can do. Put this a little bit in here. And then you can move it around. Sort of a fun thing to keep in your pocket and show your friends. And now I'm going to take a big amount here, and I'm going to make a pile of it. And I put both of them together. That's kind of neat, right? I'm sure you could come up with other cool stuff to do with them. But now you know about magnetite.